So let's continue with the second topic of this subject. It is very simple. Cells and tissues of the body. ज़्यादातर चीज़ें you have already learned in your 12th, right? So mainly बहुत basic है. We will be talking about cells, cell structure, and 4 types of tissues in the body, or what is the importance of these tissues and cells with respect to audiology and speech therapy, speech language pathology. Okay, so let's start. So in human body, obviously that it is made up of cells. Okay, some things will be repetitions for you, very basics. It's made up of cells and tissue. I will not be going into the details because it is quite self-explanatory. Cells itself, it is like a foundation of all organs and physiological functions. It is essential for hearing, speech, and swallowing system. So in cell, you have already learned this whole structure of the cell and what are the components in it. Okay, it's a smallest unit, structural and functional unit of life. There are different types of cells which are specialized for, and one of the few important components, as you know, one is nucleus is one, then is where is mitochondria, yeah, the power of the cell, that is everybody is aware of. Then plasma membrane, then Golgi, okay, and ribosomes is one of the important structures. We don't have to by heart what they do and what is the importance of it, that is not required. Okay, some of the infrastructures as we discussed: mitochondria, endolymphatic reticulum, then Golgi, then ribosome and lysosomes. Okay, no need to study this in detail right now, we don't require it. Let's move ahead. For us, what is relevance is the 4 types of cells. One is neurons. Okay, this is for signaling, electric signaling. Then comes the epithelial lining, because most of our oral or nasal cavities are actually filled up with epithelial types of cells. Then we have muscles, movement of articulators, how right now this my mouth is moving. So all this because of the muscles are that had very important role in this, right from speaking and then swallowing also, right? And glial cells, this is more of a supporting of the neuron. Okay, so this is actually connected with this, but somehow this doesn't have much importance in anatomy. Generally we talk only about this, but glial has a very important role when it comes to supporting or a protection of neurons. Okay, so the types, if we see, okay, one is x-axis is about the y-axis is about the specialization, and it is about support role. So epithelial is more of covers and protect surfaces. So skin is there, right? So there is epithelial lining. The mouth is there. You see inside there is epithelial lining. So the main job is to covering and the protection of the surface. Then comes the supportive or connective tissues. Muscle is something which enables movement and muscles movement and contractions, and nervous system will be able to help the transmission of the electric signal. It is same as we discussed already. So in epithelial there are mainly 3 types. There are actually multiple types, but mainly there are 3 types. One is simple, stratified and ciliated. You can see here simple is there, and then again simple, cuboidal, and this thing is there, stratified and pseudo stratified. I think the ciliated is not mentioned here. The functions are like protection, the secretion and the absorption. Okay, and these are found in vocal folds and nasal and oral cavity. Okay, this is one type. Second type will be the connecting tissue. It supports and connects the body. Contains fiber, collagen and elastin and cells. There are different types: the loose connective, and then the dense ones, then the bone, then cartilage. Blood is also one of the connective tissue actually. Okay, it forms larynx, ossicles, skull, and vocal ligaments. These are all connective tissues. Just by heart, nothing to explain in this. It's very easy to understand also. Then comes the third is muscle tissue. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, so in muscle tissue there are, as you know, there are three types. One is skeletal, right? So whenever we move body parts, this external, generally the bicep, like contraction, relaxation happen. For example, bicep. This is more of a skeletal muscles which are attached to the skeleton. They are responsible for the body movements. Uh, so with respect to the speech and swallowing, so you see articulators are moving. This is because of the skeletal muscles, and also the respiration which is happening is also because of the skeletal muscles. Smooth is more of involuntary muscles. This is something which is for the internal organs, for example esophagus, and the cardiac is mainly for the heart. So for us, skeletal and smooth muscles are important with respect to speech and swallowing. Neurons and glials. So neurons, as you know, is specialized for transmission of the signal from throughout the body. It is composed of neuron. So this is actually neuron cells. Glial, somehow I could not find a proper picture of the glial cells. So these are found in brain, spinal cord, cranial nerves. Definitely it controls actually everything, also including the speech and swallowing and hearing. So whatever for our speech or swallowing to function, all these should work in a cohesive way. So at vocal fold level, it is epithelium plus muscle plus connective tissue are working together. In ear, it's more of epithelial lining plus connective tissue and sensory cells. Okay, so all these tissue are functioning through the integrated tissue cooperation. So all 1, 2, 3, 4. So what it means is nothing works exclusively, all are working together. So clinical relevance is sensory, insensory. This is SN. This is sensory neural hearing loss. Okay, HL is hearing loss. Basically, here neuronal damage is there. Neurons are affected. Cleft palate is something like this is a palate. We will learn, right? And there's a cleft in between, right? So there is this is fusion is not happened properly. So there is abnormal epithelial connective development. Voice disorder. So vocal folds, okay, change in epithelial vocal tissue. So anything change it happens here, it will change in it will result in the voice problem. Aphasia is damage to the actual nervous system, mostly the brain regions. Okay, so finally, it's cells and tissues are building blocks of speech and hearing. Understand tissue types aids in clinical diagnosis, foundation for future learning and anatomy of physiology. Okay, very simple basic topic, nothing much in this whole unit of introduction. I think this is the one of the smallest and easiest topic. I don't expect much questions in exam or even practicals on this topic, because you have already crossed it. Most of the concept you have learned it in 12th. So we have to go for a specialized knowledge. What is specialized for respect to speech and swallowing? So in further topic of embryology and development of oral cavity and larynx and the respiratory system, we will go in detail. Okay, see you in the next lesson.